Peter Moshe. He heads the Securities and Business Litigation Department at the Levin, Papantonio and Rafferty law firm, which has played a central role in the opioid allegations. Thank you so much, Counselor, for joining us. So, is it fair to say, as we look at this situation, that there was enough of a quid pro quo, that these companies knew what they were doing, did it on purpose, continually did it, and as a result, people died?
Well, the lead-in for this is 2001, U.S. Congress had their first hearing and investigated OxyContin and referred to it as the angel of death. So 2001 onward, and the distributors that are responsible for $21 billion of this settlement, who were charged by federal law with designing and operating a system to detect red flags, which are shipments into pharmacies, operated with virtually no system, and this runaway growth of opiate pills into our communities that the distributors were charged to protect did almost nothing. And today, they've agreed to pay $21 billion, but more importantly, the injunctive relief part of this deal, which mandates that the conduct, it's not just business as usual, that the conduct is going to change and the red flag systems are going to be enacted to ensure this never happens again.
And just to be clear, to explain it to our audience, so Purdue made the drug, but these companies like McKesson and several others, they're the ones who actually distributed the drugs. So this is like the second hammer to fall, so to speak. Am I correct?
That's exactly right. So you have we call it the supply chain, the opiate supply chain. You have the Purdue, Mallinckrodt, Activa that are the three main distributors that account for about 75% of the market. Then you have the distributors that are are like the beat cops that distribute to the pharmacies that were supposed to ensure that any orders of any suspicious size, frequency, or pattern were detected. Shipment was supposed to be stopped, and they were supposed to perform due diligence before they went to the pharmacies. And then the pharmacies, who are often actually distributors and pharmacies, were supposed to have another level of check. So there are three checks in the system: at the manufacturer level, the distributor level, and the pharmacy level. So today, what was announced was the big three distributors, which is that middle check, the beat cop. That was McKesson, AmerisourceBergen, and Cardinal have agreed to $21 billion and conduct change. And then J&J, which is one of the manufacturers and importers and marketers, that's exactly right, they've agreed to $5 billion. So these are just four players. Purdue is now in bankruptcy. The Sacklers have been stripped of their ownership of the company. They've agreed to pay another $4.2 billion. So as of right now, just with those five defendants, we're $30 billion to put back into our local governments and our states to address the epidemic.
I'm still wondering why no one in those companies is going to prison. And should they? Because in the end, isn't that really the ultimate punishment?
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, let's look at the cash payments, which are important, and they're going to put money back into our communities. And I'm not downplaying that, but who pays it? I mean, the shareholders ultimately pay it.
Right.
And the corporate misconduct just repeats over and over and over again. And I don't care if you're looking at the securities world or you're looking at the pharmaceutical world. The reason why it repeats is because there's no individuals held accountable, either civilly, money-wise, or criminally, and that's why we keep having this repeat cycle of profits over safety.
Counselor, you're great. We appreciate it. Peter Moshe, thanks so much for joining us and sharing this important information with us. We thank you.